It seems to me that people are getting a lot of things very confused in this whole situation. I think you guys don't understand the difference between beef and competition. So I looked it up for you. Beef. To have beef with someone is wanting to fight them physically. A person having something against someone else or wanting an argument or a fight. Competition. An event or contest in which people compete. They even gave me a sentence. They have competition. They have a competition to see who sells the most lemonade. You see, guys, we've gotten to the point where we want everybody to have trophies and we don't want to have competitions anymore. It seems to me that people are looking at this whole situation with J. Cole and Kendrick as something as easy as just some street fight or some people on the corner selling dope. That's not what it is. These two guys are two of the best rappers that we've had in the last 10 years, and they just wanted to see who was number one. But it seems like a lot of you out there don't really realize that. Let me see. One rapper actually won a Pulitzer Prize for one of their albums, and the other one is a very soft-spoken guy from North Carolina who tends to just want to rap all the time, ride bikes, and wears Crocs. He won't even dress like he got money. And if you wanted to make it the big three, the third one played a character named Wheelchair Jimmy in Degrassi High. Selling a lot of dope, those guys, aren't they? I think for a lot of us, we don't think about the situation from a standpoint of people just being rappers. We look at all the bad elements that came with the other side of hip hop. Don't get me wrong. When people really had beef, yeah, people lost their lives, people got shot. It was a lot of bad things that was going on. But when people want to have competition, it's just people who want to feel like they want to be they want the number one spot. Too bad everybody wants to look at it as some kind of street gang fight that is never really going to happen. None of these guys want to hurt each other. None of these guys want to do anything bad to each other but prove who's the best. And why not? Why not? It's friendly competition. You know, I read a quote one time that says, competition is good as long as it's healthy. It makes one strive to be better. I think that's all we're asking these people to do. Strive to be better in music. Look, man, you guys can say what y'all want to say about this whole situation. You guys can look at it in any crazy way you want to, but at the end of the day, all it is competition. You know, while we're at it, why don't we eliminate football, basketball, spelling bees? That seems pretty competitive. Let's just eliminate anything that has something to do with competition, and let's just give everybody a trophy, because that's what we really want here. It's ridiculous, man. If you don't like this in hip hop, you can most definitely go to country, or you can go to jazz. Go to something that's not competitive. Let the hip hop heads enjoy competition between the big 2.5. Damn, J. Cole. Welcome to the STEM Society.
The STEM Society.
Calm that shit down, boy. I do this just for kicks now, boy. You always sounding like a bitch now, boy. Who you playing with? I'm rich now, boy. I am the king, watch him bow down, boy. I send the word through the town now, boy. I got no time to be playing with you, boy. You think you fucking with me, I'm like, boy. Okay, I got rap in a headlock, like a head wrap on dreadlocks. My boss tend to be perfect tens. Your boss tend to be Red Sox. All that probably went over your head like Vince Carter.
The STEM Society.
Like putting paint on a dunk like Blake Griffin. Like y'all niggas nice, but this is way different.
Welcome back to the STEM Society. My name is Cole Jackson. I hope you guys have had a very interesting week. I can't wait to have a conversation with you guys about what has been going on. Jeez. So before we get started, a few housekeeping notes. There will not be a Sunday episode, Sunday audio episode, or a Monday video episode. I had a death in my family, and I'm just not going to be able to put out the video or the audio at all. It's a lot of family around, and we just want to, I got to be around my family. So no episode for Sunday and Monday. I wish I could, but I just can't right now. So that being said, you won't get another episode until next Wednesday or Thursday for the video. Thank you for just being very supportive in this time. I appreciate you guys. With everything going on right now, I'm not able to give you guys a second episode this week. So thank you very much for that. Secondly, this show is not going to be the typical format that it usually is. I'm just going to cover one thing. I got to talk about this, because if I don't, man, like I want to just put some opinions out there. I just want to have a conversation with you guys about the J. Cole apology. So with that being said, we'll get into that in a minute. But have you joined the society? Have you become a part of something that's growing every day? Why haven't you joined? The only thing I'm asking for is a play, a like, a comment. But the best way to be able to grow this thing and to be a part of the society is to subscribe. Please subscribe to the BYNK Radio YouTube channel so you can get great music content like this every day. Whether you like it, you can share it. Whether you don't like it, you can still share it. I just want to be able to grow this, man. I want to grow this bigger than what it is already and break the algorithm chains. So please take time out to subscribe and be a part of the biggest, best music society ever. Join the STEM Society. Okay, so this is going to be a whole lot different than normal episodes. Again, I'm actually re-recording this, by the way. God, I just love being able to do this. But I had to re-record this. The audio version sounds way different than this version, but I have to get this out because I promised a video. But yeah, man, I wanted to talk about the J. Cole apology and just kind of God. This is probably one of the craziest, weirdest things I've ever seen in hip hop before in my life. And I most definitely have to talk about it. Okay, so let's get into it, man. Let's talk about it. The J. Cole apology. Never thought I would see this in hip hop. This is something completely different from what I'm used to. I never heard somebody go crazy on features talking about how great they are, and then they move into a situation where they have to say, I'm sorry, wasn't me. So for all of you who don't know, let me give you guys the breakdown. During his Dreamville festival in North Carolina, you did this on your home turf, brother. That's terrible. Cole spoke on Kendrick. He used descriptive words like lame and terrible when reflecting on his 7-minute drill song. That is not really a good diss song, but that's neither here nor there. Which he also suggested that he might take it off of streaming services. Now, I've checked here recently, and it's still on streaming services. I guess you got to get them first week numbers up, huh? I never thought I would say that about J. Cole. I'm sorry. I feel like I blaspheme. I blaspheme when I say that. Anyway, that's the breakdown. All right, for those who haven't seen the video, or for you guys who don't need a bit of a reminder, here's the video.
I ain't gonna lie to y'all. I moved in a way that I feel spiritually feel bad on me. Like I try to jab my nigga back, and I try to keep it friendly. But at the end of the day, when I listen to it and when it comes out and I see the talk, that shit don't sit right with my spirit. That shit make me feel, that shit disrupts my fucking peace. So what I want to say right here tonight is, in the midst of me doing that and in that shit, trying to find a little angle and downplay this nigga's fucking catalog and his greatness, I want to say right now tonight, how many people think Kendrick Lamar is one of the greatest motherfuckers to ever touch a fucking microphone? Dreamville, y'all love Kendrick Lamar, correct? As do I. So I just want to come up here and be like, publicly be like, bruh, that was the lamest, goofiest shit. And I say all that to say, it made me feel like 10 years ago when I was moving incorrectly. And I pray that God align me back up on my purpose and on my path. You know what I mean? I pray that my nigga really didn't feel no way. And if he did, my nigga, I got my chin out. Take your best shot. I'm gonna take that shit on the chin, boy. Do what you do. You know what I mean? Like, all good. Like, it's love. And I pray that, I pray that y'all are like, forgive a nigga for like the misstep, and then I can get back to my true path. Cause I ain't gonna lie to y'all. The past 2 days felt terrible. Like, it let me know how good I've been sleeping for the past 10 years. So all of that to say, man, I want to now perform the song that's a reminder to me of getting back on the right path and getting in tune with God. And the name of the song is called Love Yours. I want to do that for y'all right now.
So I don't even know how to tackle this. I'm gonna be real with you guys. I have no idea how to tackle this, but I'm gonna try. So let me get an opinion part out of the way also. Let me talk about something that I've seen online and on social media that's really bugging me. All of these talking heads like Ebro, Pete Rosenberg, Charlamagne the God are going on and on these diatribes about how he did the right thing, it's the mature thing. Apologies is exactly what you need to do in these days and times. That was a man thing to do. They're bullshitting you. I'm just going to tell you how I feel. This is a personal opinion, and if you don't feel the same way, it's fine. But they are bullshitting you. And the reason why I'm saying that is because to them, and I don't know none of these dudes from a can of paint, but this is just how I feel. J. Cole is the last remnant of hip-hop, their favorite part of hip-hop, their version of Nas, the newer version of Nas to them. And I feel like they said these things or they made these tweets, and I'll put them up here, to kind of save his reputation with the fans. And I'm not saying that J. Cole asked them to do that. I just feel like Rosenberg and Ebro and Charlamagne have this attachment to a certain time in hip-hop that they love so much. And I think J. Cole reflects that part of hip-hop for them. And that gives them that old feeling of like, man, you remember rappers used to rap, man, when they used to have lyrics. I think he reminds them of that. And then, again, this is all speculation. This is me just giving an opinion. But I just feel like they're all bullshitting. If this was somebody like Yeet or Playboi Carti, or if it was one of the newer rappers, I guarantee you guys, if I had $250,000, I would put it down and bet that they would roast the shit out of him. If this was Cardi, it wouldn't even have to be Playboi. Let's say Big Sean did this. And I know we're using Big Sean to death, but they would have destroyed him. There's a lot of rappers that they would have destroyed if they would have did the same thing. If they would have apologized to another rapper that they dissed, I guarantee you that Rosenberg, Ebro, and Big Charlamagne would have did the same. They would have went crazy on this guy. They would have destroyed him. But because this is somebody who reminds them of the old school feeling of like, oh man, that Nas, or how Nas used to do and all this other shit, they let it go. It's fine. He's mature. He did something that a lot of these guys don't have the guts enough to do. They are bullshitting you. They are all bullshitting you. I don't care. I might catch some flack for this, but I don't believe not one of them motherfuckers at all. I've seen them tear rappers apart for doing other things. And for them to come off and be like, well, that's just so mature, and they're just doing. Y'all are bullshit. I watch all of. I watch a lot of y'all's interviews, and I watch how much vitriol you guys have when it comes to particular rappers. And because J. Cole is somebody who reminds you of the Nas era, or they remind you of that old school feel of rappers actually having lyrics, you guys have a soft part in your heart for him, and you just be like, yeah, man, it was the mature thing to do. Oh man, he was just, if it ain't in him, it's not in him. They're bullshitting you. However you want to feel about this thing, you feel the way you feel. But those talking heads, sorry, I'm not buying it. I'm just not gonna buy that shit at all. It is what it is. So I wanted to attack this thing by like 5 questions that I've seen in different group chats that I'm in. I'm in quite a few hip hop group chats that talk about music on a regular basis, different types of people all the time. So I thought I'd just take some questions and answer them. And if you have an answer for them, you can put your answer in the comments as well. I'll probably put the questions up here just to kind of make it easier for you guys. So I'm gonna answer these 5 questions how I feel, what my opinions are. Play along. Play along with me. See how you feel about it. So the first question is this career suicide? Depends. How many more albums does J. Cole have in him is the biggest question. My observation from this, especially with him doing it the way he did, makes me feel like this is his last album. And I could be wrong. And again, I'm speculating. And I always say speculation is way more fun than the truth. But I personally feel like this is probably going to be his last album. How many does J. Cole really have left in him? I'm just asking. I know elder statesmen rappers are still going strong. I know we still get runs from a lot of, we get really good verses from a lot of the previous generation or 2 generations previous from us albums. But how many does J. Cole really have? Here's another question. I'll answer that question with a question. Is he tired of rap? I know that's a bold and crazy thing to say, but what if J. Cole just don't want to rap no more? What if he, this is the craziest shit in the world, but I gotta say it. What if he just seen Andre 3000 and was just like, I want to do that. That nigga wear coveralls all the time. He got a crazy ass afro. He wears it under this skull cap on a regular basis. He plays the flute. He seen Andre 3000 was like, that's what I want to do. It's possible. It's possible. No, man. I've said this on a previous episode before. All of our big 3, I can't even say that without feeling a certain way. But the big 2.5, it's time for them to transition. It's time for them to leave full-time rapper mode and go into executive mode. I say this on a regular basis. It's time for them to move out of the way and let some new talent come in. They all have labels. They all have things that they need to do executive-wise to be able to have their labels run correctly. Think about it like this. Dreamville has a tough roster. Earth Gang, Jid, Boz, Ari Lennox, Kaz, Omen, Luke, and I'm just naming a few people. But I don't think J. Cole is managing that label that way. Maybe it's time for him to move over and start being in more executive Cole. Maybe he's just tired, man. I just don't want to say this was career suicide because he still, say what you want to about the song and the apology, but you can't erase history. You can't erase what the man has put out there. You can't erase a lot of the songs that he put out there that made a lot of us think or put us in a certain state of mind. I can't allow that to happen. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not one of those people that's just gonna sit up here and be like, well, that nigga ain't never put out nothing good. That's bullshit, and you know it. So career suicide, I don't think it's career suicide. I really think people are gonna look at him funny, and he can't spit the same type of bars that he used to anymore. Like all that shit talking, done, bro. Like that whole I'm going to hell if Jesus asked me for a feature type shit you was saying, you done, bro. You can't say that no more. You done. That's violation. That's a violation where you at. Nah, man. I don't think it's career suicide. I think it's him possibly just not wanting to rap anymore. Next question. Did he pick a side? So in some of the group chats that I'm in, some people feel like he picked Kendrick Lamar's side when he did the apology. I don't think No. I feel like he's just not, he ain't battle tested. He ain't got the, he don't got the, he don't have it. He ain't got, what is it? He ain't got the Mamba mentality. There you go. He ain't got that Mamba mentality. He's not a, I hope YouTube don't do nothing to me, but I gotta say it. He's not a killer. He ain't a killer. He proved that. He ain't a killer. So I don't think he picked a side. Like, I don't think he apologized just so he could be on Kendrick's side when Kendrick goes in on Drake. And when this whole competition between him and Drake starts, I don't think he just was like, oh man, I just want to be on Kendrick's. I don't think that's what happened. I think he just ain't no killer. He ain't got it in him. Some people don't have it in them, man. Some people want to walk the walk so bad, but just don't have it inside of him. And I know he said this was hurting his spirit and he couldn't sleep for a couple nights, so on and so forth. I don't think that if he wanted to do an album with Kendrick Lamar, he's had years previous to be able to do this. And I really feel like he ain't pick a side. I feel like he just don't have it. He can rap. He can put together pretty good songs. He can make a decent project. But I think when it comes to actually, when it's time to get down, when it's time to actually go up against somebody, it just ain't in him. And we can't be mad at that. Some people just ain't built for it. And he talked a lot of shit. He talked a lot of shit. There's a lot of features that I got to go back and kind of just question him on now because of all this apology stuff. But I don't think he picked a side. I think Cole's going to sit in the corner, make his album, drop it, and kind of just fade off into the sunset and be quiet. If I was him, I would do the same thing. All right, the next question. Will you still pick up the fall off after this apology? I wouldn't be a hip hop head if I didn't, man. I know. If I'm being honest with myself, and I feel the way I feel because I've been saying this ever since that Might Delete Later project dropped, this probably is going to be his last album. And that's, again, I'm putting myself out here when I say this. It would be crazy for me not to get J. Cole's last album. And maybe it'll be more of an introspective album than talking shit. I think he did, like, when I think about it, I'm looking at Might Delete Later as him just getting his shit off and actually just saying, yo, let me go ahead and talk my shit, because the fall off is probably going to be more of an introspective of his career, what he's done in the game, and how he's going to say goodbye. And this might be the eulogy to his rap career. And I don't want to miss out on that. I'm not going to let something like an apology or something like what he did turn me against music and the music that he makes. Every album is not a classic. Hell, every album is not even great. But J. Cole has solid equity with me. I think I've been more pleased with some of his albums than I have been disappointed. And for that, I can't just erase history, man. I can't do that. And I can't just let something like an apology keep me away from getting his last album, because I'm on the side of him. I'm really gonna ride this is his last album wave. So no, I'm not gonna not pick it up because I'm a fan. I'm not gonna sit up here and not get this man's project because of what he did. I've always been there for his drop. When Might Delete Later dropped, I stayed up, listened to it. There are some solid songs on there. The project is actually pretty solid, to be honest with you. I can't sit up here and deny myself something because you got a problem with him saying he's sorry or you feel a certain type of way. Look, man, he did it. I know he ain't built for it. I'm going to move past it. That's all I can do. So for me to deny myself his album because he broke an unwritten rule in hip hop, that's dumb. That's dumb on my end, bro. No, I'm not gonna miss out on the fall off because of what he did or what he said. Nah, I'm with it. I'm with it. I'm going to most definitely get the fall off. Next question. Is this a trick? So some of the people that I'll talk to feel like this was a trick to lure Kendrick in, so when the fall off drops, he's gonna have some crazy diss song on there that's gonna just destroy Kendrick Lamar. Sorry guys, that's not gonna happen either. I don't think he's building this intricate plan of lulling Kendrick Lamar in just so he can diss him. I just feel like he's not the one. So no, I don't think he's got this intricate plan of just trying to trick Kendrick Lamar, and he's gonna diss him, and this is gonna be all fun and games at the end of the day. I don't think that's what that's going to be. That's just a lot of work for nothing. Like, that's just a lot of work, man. Nah, that's too intricate and too crazy. Nah, I'm not doing that. All right, next question, last question. What happens next? Where do we go from here? I personally feel like this might have killed what could have been a classic album for him. I think his reputation has gotten so tainted after this apology that what could have been a classic album, which he had probably put a lot of work into, he probably killed it with this apology situation. The diss song alone probably killed everything because that song is terrible. But the potential of this being his classic album, like maybe it's going to be so good that we can't deny it. But I think he just killed a lot of credibility that a lot of us hip hop heads had with him. And not to say that he's, out here selling dope behind our back and it's like, oh Lord, J. Cole smoking crack. It's not that. It's just the simple fact that, like, you got on a lot of songs, bro. And you said a lot of shit to make me, I'm not even gonna talk about all the other people, me feel like you could hang with all these niggas. And now, because the heat got turned up a little bit, because I do feel like I feel like Kendrick was like, it's on. And he was like, wait, what? I think he got in too deep and he just couldn't handle the pressure. But I think that he makes his album, he drops it, shuts the fuck up, and rides off into the sunset. There's nothing else he has to say anymore. I think that he gets to a point where we just say, hey man, you played a good game. You respected the game as much as you possibly could. Y'all can say what y'all want to say, but he's going to have his jersey hanging in the rafters. He's a Hall of Famer. Argue with your mama. I think Cole just rides off into the sunset and we don't see him anymore. He probably peeks his head out every now and again to jump on a verse, and we'll be just like, oh shit, J. Cole still rapping? He still can rap? But other than that, man, we're not going to get anything else from this guy, man. We're pretty much set for the rest of our lives. This is going to be his last. I'm just going to say it. This is his last album. This is it. Nothing more, nothing less. And I think we should appreciate him while he's still here. Because a lot of people would wish for that kind of career in hip hop. And a lot of people can't do what he does. Even the apology thing was something that was kind of out of the ordinary. So maybe we should just go ahead and give him his flowers, thank him for his service, and tell him to go ahead and sit behind the desk and run Dreamville the best way he possibly can. Hopefully those questions will answer some things for you. Hopefully that gave you a little bit of perspective. Hopefully you played the game with me. I thought this was very interesting. These questions were very, very interesting and very telling about how I feel about things. So we'll see. Now, I know Friday's coming up. I think Drake's going to drop something. I think we're about to get some of this new Metro. I think We Still Don't Trust You is going to have even more heat. I think Kendrick is going to be on that album, full song. I'm putting all my cards on the table now. Since we've gotten the pretenders out of here, since we got the people who don't want to be a part of this competition out, he's gone, he's done. Let's get going with the real big dogs. Let's see what Kendrick and Drake are gonna do. Hell, I want to see what Future's gonna say. I want to know I need the track list. I need to know who's gonna be featured on here. I want to know what comes next. We've gotten, I think Kitty hour is done. Kitty time is finished. We don't have no more J. Cole. The playtime is done. The real MCs, the real rappers are going to come out and start going at it, and I'm excited for it. If you have some comments about the J. Cole situation and his apology and so on and so forth, put them down there in the bottom. Put them in the comments. Let me know how you feel. If there's some good stuff down there, I'll make sure I read it on the next episode. How about that? So with that being said, look, I got to get out of here. That's my time. I really appreciate everybody showing up. Again, I apologize for not having a second episode this week. But again, there was a death in my family, and I just have to handle family stuff. So I'll catch you guys next Wednesday and on YouTube next Thursday. Peace out.
Oh, yeah. You won't hurt my feelings, you won't. I love it when you talk that shit to me.
The STEM Society.
When you talk that shit to me. Oh, yeah. You won't hurt my feelings, you won't. No, you won't, baby. I love it when you talk that shit to me. I love it when you talk that shit to me. Oh, yeah.
Was it 98 or was it 99? Back when my innocence couldn't even buy a troubled mind. I wait, but girl, I hate to trouble you. But when you on your stomach, your ass look like a W. Benz with the tent, baby, that's an undercover move. I
Thank
park
you
it
for
on
joining the
Sunset
STEM
like
Society.
Frederick with the bubble goose.